Well, hey guys. To all you other morbidly curious souls who are here to join me in just Brendon. Just bonus Brendon things. Because I have no idea this actually leads to any other endings. I wouldn't imagine so, but I'm very curious what else could have happened. Because we're not really going to get the chance to do all of this again. Brendon's very good at keeping a grudge. Unless you let him apologize to you with sex, apparently. So, yeah, let's try some variations of the choices from last time and just see what happens. One good thing is that the skip button is very quick in this game. So, let's just take him to bed. Not our bed, his bed.
Man, you're totally wasted. You need to sleep this off before you do something you regret. He squinted at me, exhaling a cloud of fumes. You wouldn't do this sober, would you? So? This is not a good idea. I took his arm and gently led him down the hall into his own bedroom. Good night, Brendon. I closed the door and headed back to my own room. For a moment there, I was afraid he was going to make a pass at me. In the morning, he probably wouldn't remember this had ever happened.
Yes, that is a worry. That is definitely a worry. Okay, so I think that, let me just get the normal thing, like we did with Aussie. Okay, good. I wanted to know for sure. So we'll go back to this, and we'll let him speak. And this time we'll be like, get out of here!
Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Stop! You are totally wasted. You need to sleep this off before you do something we both regret. Okay? I wasn't sure what I thought of Brendon anymore, but I was definitely sure that I did not want to do whatever he was trying to do. Let's just forget about this, okay? He stared at me for a moment. Then he sniffed and pulled his shirt back on.
Uh-huh.
Coward. Anyways, now you know. Now I can go to sleep. Right? Brendon, I don't want your pity. I just wanted to tell you. And now you know. I nodded. Good. Don't tell anybody else, or I'll smash your face in. He probably would. He left. I shut the door behind him, turned out my light, and crawled into bed. It didn't excuse any of his actions. It didn't excuse the way he was thinking about himself or the world. But still, I felt bad for him. With those thoughts on my mind, I drifted off into a troubled sleep.
Flynn, you summed up my thought process about Brendon precisely. It doesn't excuse him being the absolute worst. But I feel kind of bad for the guy as well on a messed up level. And apparently there is something different when you do this.
Brendon accosted me in the hallway just as I was returning to my room. He hadn't spoken much to me in the past couple of weeks, so I wondered what he wanted. Yes? Are you going to smash my face in now? I wanted to say goodbye. Be more boring here without you around, so guess I'll miss you. I didn't know what to say. By reflex, what came out was, you too.
Nice.
Silence. Then Brendon smiled. Good. He continued past me and down the staircase. So, had we achieved some sort of tolerance and brotherhood? I wasn't sure why, but I felt successful, like I just won a lead role. Hooray for me!
Hooray for Flynn! Brotherhood and such. What's this? Okay, so Brendon showed up for our goodbye meal again.
But it was Brendon. I was leaving, so he should be happy.
Alright, and then he confesses. Do I want to do that's up to James, but now? I'll leave that for the end, for our last choice with him. Yeah, leave him alone. Oh, okay. This is slightly different as well.
I don't want you to do anything. I'm leaving. There's no reason for me to be involved anymore. I knew why Brendon did it. Sure, he wasn't a good person, and maybe he would never be. But I didn't want to get revenge on him. I was tired of arguing. I just wanted to leave it behind. You're a better man than I am.
Okay. So we didn't view it as like a goodbye gift from him this time around. Interesting, though. Very interesting. I'm glad I'm doing this. I'm getting some interesting insights. Okay, and then this is the next one. We went down this slightly. I'm curious if anything else happens. We'll skip through this. I knew from the get-go that was not going to work out. Okay, so then Brendon is just the same old Brendon. Good. I figured as much. I'm glad my instincts were right, but I had to double check because I thought about it afterwards. I'm like, maybe. What happens if you want him to confess?
I want you to tell the rest of the hostel that you stole that money, not me. Dream on. You set me up. You made everyone hate me. You got me fired. You cost me and my parents a lot of money. You think peddling your ass makes up for that? Didn't hear you complain. Or Oscar either. So that was how Brendon kept from getting fired.
Alright! Got some confirmation.
Look, we're done here, get it? It's done. You got yours, I got mine. That's it. So from now on, keep your mouth shut. Tell anyone and you'll see more trouble than you ever dreamed of, white bread.
White bread? What kind of insult is white bread?
He left the room while I was still struggling to come up with a response. I did not understand him. I had never understood him, and maybe I didn't really want to understand him.
That's true too. I can appreciate that. That sucked, man. He still confessed. Interesting. I'm gonna just... I want a confession too. I'm curious what happens if you, say, leave him alone after what went down. Okay, so it's the same as when you... No, okay, there is a little bit different.
Despite his protests, he'd come through in the end. So deep down he had a conscience after all, he'd just gotten used to ignoring it. Maybe what had happened between us would change him for the better. Or maybe not. Brendon was still Brendon.
Brendon was still Brendon. That's interesting. Lots of interesting Brendonisms happening. I don't know how to feel about it. Alright, let's do that same confession again, but do... That's up to James.
I shrugged. I'm not the police. I'm not even the landlord. And I'm leaving tomorrow. What happens to him doesn't matter to me anymore. Whatever James wants to do with him is fine with me. But I'd really like to get my parents' money back. Fat chance. We'll see. James walked into the room, tape recorder in hand. If you don't pay up, you're out of here. He shrugged at me. Can't promise you'll get a refund. That's okay. Hey! You can't do this! We had a deal! James grabbed hold of his shoulder and pushed him out of the room. He looked back at me, his face all screwed up like a sulky bulldog. You brought this on yourself. He glared, then turned away. And that was the last I ever saw of him.
Wow. I feel like that... There was a lot more consequences for Brendon than Aussie if you let James handle things. A lot more. How interesting. How do I want to do this? This is the... You know, I want more sex version of confession. Let's do that. And and do that that's up to James. Okay, so nothing changes there. And probably not in the other one either, which was... yes, I want that one and that. I think he still confessed. Even though he was absolutely disgusted. No, it wasn't that one. Okay, which one was it then? Oh, right. It was... let him speak, and then say, get out of here, man! That's so funny that we had, like, a brotherhood after that. Okay, so what happens this time? Still the same betrayal. Okay, well that's good. I wanted to know. Yeah, just desserts to Brendon. Got him. That was very interesting. I'm glad I went and saw what those other variations were, because I was really curious. And for all you morbidly curious people that have joined me today, thank you very much. I appreciate your support in this time of need. Yeah, Brendon's one of the more interesting characters, I'd say. There's a lot of his backstory that is not explained, but I feel, in a weird way, I feel kind of bad for him. And I feel kind of bad for Aussie, too, but they're still terrible people. Should not date. Big exclamation mark, should not date. Ever. Anyway, we are done with that, thank goodness. Thank you guys very much again for joining me for this. And now that we're done with that bit of nonsense, it's back to Edo Blossoms, where we are going to do the official Narcissus boy, Ryoma Sakamoto. I am looking forward very much to his route, because I spent the first part of his route expecting betrayal that never came, so it kind of ruined the experience. Because I was constantly like, he's gonna reveal that he never loved us. It's gonna get me. Never actually happened. Also, we got our bro, what's his name? Kyo Shiranui, our fellow gunslinging boy, who's gonna be joining us as well. So, yeah, I am so excited for that trio. Oh my goodness. Cannot even begin to explain my excitement for that. So, hopefully I will see you guys over there for that. Until next time, I will see you later.